So, today we are trying to establish what would happen if communism would be adopted by mutants from the X-Men Marvel Comics series. And most importantly, how could an economic and social communism system work in the mutant nation of Krakoa from the X-Men comics? I'm Jean, your host, and today we're going to discuss what we already established. So let's jump right into it. But first, one change. The first thing will be important to note is that the leader here won't be Charles Xavier, which will be probably killed by the Archis, which is a terrorist organization led by Nimrod, which is a villain to the X-Men group and people and mutants in general. And instead, his role of leader will be replaced by Magneto. So, first of all, the economy. Total automation from each according to their mutation. Kinda like the Q episode we did. If Krakoa's post-scarcity economy was built on the back of Krakoan flowers and mutant synergy. Under Magneto's communist regime, the classic Marxist adage gets a mutant upgrade, from each according to their mutation to each according to their need. Mutant billionaires like Emma Frost or Sunspot have their asset forcibly nationalized for the collective. No more luxury villas. Housing is distributed strictly based on need and family size. Then there's the Omega level proletariat. Omega level mutants are no longer just citizens, they are a state infrastructure. Magneto commands the terraforming powers of Vulcan, Storm, and Iceman to ensure perfect agricultural yields and endless energy, completely eliminating labor exploitation. The mutant telepaths act as a literal psychic intranet, optimizing resource distribution instantly. If a mutant in the outer sector needs a specific medicine, the hive mind routes it immediately. No currency, no markets. Then there's the supreme leadership, the Vanguard Party. Since Magneto wouldn't style himself as a bureaucratic dictator, he would view himself as the vanguard of Homo superior, protecting the working class mutant from human imperialist capitalism. The Magneto was right slogan stops being a rebellious t-shirt and becomes the foundation state ideology. Statues of Erik crafted from pure magnetized vibranium tower over the capital city. There's also the elimination of the Quiet Council, immediately dissolved. It is replaced by a Politburo composed of fiercely loyal, ideologically aligned mutants like Mystique, Exodus, and Magic. Charles Xavier integralist philosophy is officially outlawed as bourgeoisie revisionism. The redefinition of the three laws, the fundamental laws of Krakoa, shift to reflect the state. Make More Mutants becomes a state-mandated demographic initiative. Murder No Man is reinterpreted. Preemptive strikes against anti-mutant human capitalists are categorized as necessary state defense, not murder. And finally, respect this sacred land becomes the absolute obedience to the state controlled ecosystem. A communist Krakoa would not sit quietly in the Pacific. Magneto's foreign policy will be aggressively expansionist, viewing human capitalistic nations, especially the US, as inherently anti mutant regimes that exploit both their working class and their mutant minorities. However, there will be also the inevitable internal schemes. No communist state exists without internal friction, and Mutant 1 will be volatile. The bourgeoisie resistance, like Emma Frost and the Hellfire Trading Company, will likely lead to an underground capitalist counter-revolution, used to operating in the shadows of high finance. Emma will use her telepathy and black market Krakoan flowers to found a mutant free market insurgency. Also, what happens to mutants who refuse to use their powers for the collective good? They are sent into the pit, which transforms from a place of exile into a forced labor camp where dissenters are physically re-educated or forced to use their kinetic abilities to power the state grid. Also, Logan and the more individualistic mutants will be immediately shaved under the Supreme State control. Wolverine will likely abandon Krakoa entirely, operating as a rogue agent in the Canadian wilderness, disgusted by Magneto's authoritarianism. So, a communist Krakoa under Magneto would arguably be the most efficient, terrifyingly powerful state in human history. By combining Marxist collectivism with post-scarcity mutant magic, Magneto would create a flawless utopia for those who comply, and a devastating nuclear-level threat to the rest of the capitalist human world. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and to leave a comment, please. That would be very appreciated. I'm Gene, and I'll see you next time.